Hello, my name is Gareth. You're watching the Hub Online Network. We have Juanita Little back in the studio today in our brand new studio. Well, what's a good term for this?
Setup.
Yeah, thank you. Our
Seating
new studio setup. We're going to be talking about School District 74 and the Hub, so let's get to it. All right, so Juanita, let's start off with, the theory is that every video is somebody's first video. So someone might not know any context as to what we're talking about. So let's re-say what the Hub does, why it's important, and what's going on with the school district.
Sure. I'm Juanita Little. I'm the chair for the Ashcroft Hub Society. And so our Hub was developed in 2015 when the elementary school here closed and amalgamated with the high school in Ashcroft here and became the Desert Sands Community School for K-12. And so there was a group of us that looked at the building and thought, you know, somebody should take this building and turn it into a community center or have things going on here, space for people to rent, to do activities and things. And as time went on, we kept saying somebody should, and then our group decided, okay, let's try this and take this on. So we talked to the school district and made an agreement to take on the lease of the building and try that. And so our mandate and vision is to provide programming for wellness, recreation, and the arts. And out of that, it has evolved into being a community center for the Ashcrofton area. We service Spence's Bridge, Ashcroft, Cache Creek, Clinton. We've had people come down from Lillooet to do things here. So it's really turned out bigger than what we thought it was going to be, but a great project that has grown over the time that we've been here. We've had multiple partnerships and collaborations with groups and organizations and people of the communities that we never could have imagined would have been there that have come to help us along the way. And so it's been such a great project. The Hub is really built for the community, by the community, and we really couldn't have done this without all the support from the communities and from all the volunteers that are here, from people putting in their time and efforts to build the Hub to what it is. So.
Awesome. So recently there's been a couple of consultations between the school district and the public, and then the school district and, to my understanding, councils and the board of the Hub. So we weren't allowed to film the public consultation portion through some technicality stuff, so we're hoping to film all the future ones. But anyway, can you walk us through what happened in that particular meeting and give what your thoughts are on what happened that night?
Okay, so I guess just going back, in January, the school district board decided to start the disposal process for the building. So that made it go to community consultations to see, because this is a publicly owned building, because our taxes and things like that paid for the building and things like that, because it's school property, that it goes to the community to decide what is the fate of the building and that kind of thing. So at that board meeting, the district trustees decided to put it into a disposal process. So that is going to the community to see what it is they should do with the building. And us at the Hub, we would like to continue doing what we're doing, and we are continuing to do what we can within the provincial pandemic mandate, which has, of course, cut a lot of programs and things like that we used to do, just because of numbers and social gatherings and things like that. But we're still trying to do what we can within those parameters. And so they had a Zoom meeting for community consultations, because of course we can't have people gathering during the pandemic and stuff. So there's multiple people from the community to meet on that meeting to say what to do with the building. And basically the consensus, it was really warming to hear people talk about what the Hub meant to them and how the Hub has brought events and things like that for them to participate in. So that's been great. And again, it was reiterated, I heard from that meeting resoundingly, that everybody wants the Hub to continue with the building and continue a process with the school district to make that continue in the future.
That being said, you don't have any new insights as to what the school district is thinking at this time?
No. So through this whole process, the way that they're doing the community consultations is through the Zoom meeting that they had at the beginning of the month. People can email the district at
I think it's SD
74.bc.ca.
Yeah, it's on the thing.
And so people can email that, not to the individual trustees, because the individual trustees, that doesn't count to go to the community consultation. It has to go to that email, the district. People can do letters, and then, so that goes until the 19th of this month, which is Friday. And from that, the school district staff accumulates collects that data, and then presents it to the school board in March, the beginning of March meeting. And from there, then the school district board decides what to do with the building at that point in time. So far I've heard resoundingly people want the hub to continue doing what we're doing, so that's awesome to hear. We were disappointed as a board to hear that we're going to do this process now in a pandemic because of all the restrictions that are out there. So we're really hoping that we can work with those restrictions and those parameters to move forward for the hub to gain the building. We had a lease, and so our hope was to, without the pandemic, to have worked in that lease time we have a 9-year lease, so we were hoping to, within that lease time, prepare ourselves enough to take over the building full time. And we can either take on the building or go apply to a 10-year lease with the province. That goes to the ministry. Both decisions go to the Ministry of Education for decisions. I don't know what that means if you take on a 10-year lease. In this process, it's been a little frustrating to have these ideas of what can be done, but no data on what that means. So at this point in time, the hub would like to take on the building and the property and continue doing what we're doing. So what we're asking for is that either we continue to the end of our lease and acquire the building property, or when the pandemic is over, I guess, and we're able to be on our feet and functioning, take over the building at that point in time.
Because the way that the school board is sort of set up, when you have a question and you send it into the school or school district, does it go to the school board like on a month-to-month basis, or is there somebody there that gives you answers to your questions relatively quickly?
I think it depends on what the question is. So like staff can answer some of the questions. So at the community consultation, they did a summary of what the disposal process was and how it's not destroying the building or taking it down or anything. It's taking it off their books. So some of the questions staff can answer, and then other questions, I guess, would go to the board, depending on what it is.
Okay. So, as you mentioned, there's you can send in letters. Mm-hmm. There's also a little. It's weird to call it a survey because it's not. It's not a questionnaire. It's a survey that pretty much says, what's your name and tell us what you want to say about the hub.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's kind of like sending in a letter.
Yeah.
But that's directly on the school district's website. Mm-hmm. And I know you've already said it once, but can you say it again? What would, if you were a person writing that on that particular setup, what would you put? The hub board wants to continue doing what we're doing with the hub and continue with what we're organizing. So again, we would like to either take ownership of the building at the end of our lease, or once pandemic is over and we're financially able to say that yes, we can do that, we would take on the building at that point in time. So it's a bit of work between us and the board, the school district board. I think that could happen. It just, like I say, financially, we don't know. The pandemic is obviously still going on, and so when does it end? Nobody knows. So let's work with those parameters, and like I say, either at the end of our lease, which we're halfway through, or pandemic, basing it that we're financially stable. So does that help? Yep. Yeah, I just wanted to have it said again so that people at home don't have to rewind it all.
And I forgot about the survey, but yeah, the survey is just 3 simple questions. It's not a 10-page thing, so it's really quite easy. The name, your contact information, and then what would you like to see done. If anybody needs help access to technology to access that survey, you can totally phone the hub here and come down, and they can put it onto our technology here to do that. So that's to help the people that don't have that ability for it.
Okay. And also, we'll have our email address on there. If you have something that you would like to say through me or through us, send us an email at honjournalist@ashcrofthub.com. We would gladly read out your comments on the air.
And I guess the other thing with the trustees is that if it goes to individual trustees, it doesn't go to the consultation process. Now, Vicki is our trustee here in Ashcroft, and so just to clarify that, she is also our executive director here at the hub. So because there's a conflict, we strive really hard to make sure that there's no conflict between her that's at the school district and her here as well at the hub. Our hub board, she's our director, and so we at the board level direct the going on at the hub, and then she facilitates that. So we really want to make sure that it's clear that there's no conflict between her being here at the hub and her being at the school district board. For any decisions on the hub, she excuses herself because of the conflict. So,
without giving too much away, if there's anything new here, what is the? I know that you want to go until the end of the lease or until the pandemic's over, but is the hub board taking any steps to be prepared one way or another?
I guess we still are continuing doing our fundraising and our grant applications and things like that. So, within the pandemic parameters, we're still working on continuing what we're doing. So, like I say, we would want to be financially ready to be able to take on the building, and still doing the maintenance work that we need to do to the building. Us being in the building, we've taken care of things like the utilities. We've fixed different things that have gone wrong with the building. So even though we don't own the building, we still treat it like it's ours and want to make sure it's maintained, right?
1 second. Olive!
Kelsey.
Stop it! Freaking me out.
As long as it doesn't sound like I'm farting on the thing. That's cute.
Okay. Well, so at this moment, is there anything else that you would like to say?
At the hub, we really appreciate everybody's commitment to the hub. We so appreciate all the volunteers we've had over the years, the people who promote the hub, the people who work at the hub, the people who bring things to us, ideas and partnerships and collaborations. I love the hub. I'm so proud of what the hub has accomplished over the time, and I can't wait to see what we have going forward with into the future, what else we can do for our area.
Well, even right now, you guys are still renting rooms out.
Yep.
That you have 2 new renters, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a couple more leases. We have a first aid course that's coming up. So we're trying, with all the parameters, still working within those parameters and having things going. Our gym's still functioning. We still have some classes going on, dance classes and things like that. So, like I say, we're not planning to go anywhere, shut down anytime soon. We want to continue doing what we're doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And we'll do another one of these in another couple of weeks just to see if there's anything new happening. We'll try and keep this story as fresh as possible. But remember, people at home, your deadline is Friday if you want to have your say on what happens. How much do you think that public correspondence actually weighs in on this?
Well, I think it has to go to the community consultation to bring it to the board to find out what it is. So as much community involvement as we can get is awesome. That helps to speak to the volume of what the hub, what we can do with the hub. So I think people can write in and say, yes, please let the hub continue with the building, have the building, take it on at the end of our lease, or when we're financially ready to able to take the transfer of ownership. That is exactly what we're pushing to do. So I appreciate that the public take that time, fill out the survey, write a letter. They take letters, email, whatever. Please let them know that the hub is valued and wanted in the community, and that we want to continue, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys later.